Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I want to talk about the difference between dedicated dashcam battery packs and portable USB battery packs that are designed for charging your cell phone when you're out and about. Now, whenever I do videos talking about these, there's always people in the comment area who are asking, well, what about portable USB battery packs? These are really popular, there's tons of options, plus they're more compact and they're also less expensive than a dedicated dashcam battery. If we take a look at these two, for example, if you take a look at the capacities that they advertise online, this dedicated dashcam battery, they say, has a capacity of 3,000 milliamp hours, as opposed to this one, which has a capacity of 3,350 milliamp hours. So pretty comparable, but this little battery has larger capacity? Not really. I know it sounds kind of weird at first, but I'll go into some of the details why that is. But it looks like this one has a larger capacity. Additionally, if you take a look at the price between the two batteries, this little one costs about $18 or so, whereas the dashcam specific battery retails for $160. And so you may look at it and say, well, this little battery, I mean, it's got larger capacity and the big battery less capacity, and it's an order of magnitude more expensive. Are these overpriced? Why would you get one of these? And so that sounds kind of weird, you know? I've got a bunch of these and I've got a bunch of these, and I love all of them. They're all great batteries, but they're designed for specific purposes. And in this video, I want to cover what the differences are, and does it make sense to maybe go for one of these instead, and what are the advantages of one of these. So starting off, the first and maybe the primary difference has to do with the battery technology that's being used specifically for safety reasons. Lithium-ion batteries, which is what they use in portable USB battery packs, they're great, they're pretty compact, but they're not really good in extreme temperatures, such as maybe if you're a dash cam, for example. If you know a lot of dash cams, they advertise that they don't use lithium-ion batteries. A lot of them now specifically advertise that they have capacitors inside. And the reason is, if the dash cam is mounted on your windshield and it's sitting in the sun for hours on end, lithium-ion batteries, because they're not so great in high temperatures, once they start to overheat, they tend to expand and then even explode. And those are some of the issues, and that's why people with dash cams a lot of times will look for something specifically with a capacitor or a supercapacitor. You'll see advertised online. That's why people want those. We see similar issues with the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, if you guys remember that. The way the battery was designed, it was not so great, and when the battery started to overheat, it would expand and even explode. There was a big recall with the Galaxy Note 7s. We also see these lithium-ion battery packs. You're not allowed to take these into your checked luggage if you're flying on an airplane. I actually did that once, and the TSA opened up my bag and took this, and I never got it back. I had to buy another one. You can take them in your carry-ons, but you can't take them in your checked luggage. They have issues as far as extreme temperatures. That's one of the biggest reasons, and one of the things that dashcam manufacturers want to avoid when you're putting a battery specifically in your car that's designed for, you know, extreme temperatures, hot and cold. You need a different type of battery technology. Capacitors, like they use in dash cams, are good for maybe short-term recording, which is helpful for like in case you get into an accident or something. The power cable may get disconnected, but you want the dash cam to record through the whole event. The capacitor gives it a little bit of recording time, so you can capture everything. Now, they're good for short-term recording, but not long-term recording. So what dashcam manufacturers wanted to do is they're like, well, we need long-term recording like what this could offer, but we need a different battery technology that's better able to handle extreme temperatures. And so what they're doing is, instead of using lithium-ion batteries, they're using lithium iron phosphate. It's a different type of battery technology that is better suited for both hot and cold temperatures. So if you're parked all day in the hot sun, this is not going to have the same issues, and it also handles lower temperatures such as below freezing a lot better than something like this. There's also things like they're better for the environment. They can handle more recharge cycles, you know, to recharge and discharge than something like this can. But if you're designing something specifically to be used in a car where the temperatures can really fluctuate considerably, that's one of the reasons they want to go for lithium iron phosphate as opposed to lithium ion. Now, the second thing has to do with how dash cams are used specifically as opposed to how cell phones would be used. With dash cams, you would maybe want your dash cam recording continuously, right? So you start your car, this battery starts charging itself from your car, and it's also outputting power to your dash cam. So your dash cam is recording while you're driving. Then once you stop driving, you turn off your car. This guy has been charged, and it's able to keep powering your dash cam. Then once you start driving again, it switches back into recharging the battery, and then it continues powering the dash cam. So the key point here is the dash cam is on the whole time. That's not how these ones are designed to operate. These are designed to maybe charge your cell phone throughout the day, and then once you're done using it, you plug it in and recharge it overnight. They don't have the capacity to power something while also simultaneously recharging themselves. They can do power in or power out, but not both simultaneously. And what that means is if you wanted to use one of these in your car, the way it would have to work is you would take your dash cam, and when you start up your car, you'd maybe plug it into a cigarette lighter, and you would also plug this in so that this is being recharged and your dash cam is being powered off your car. Then once you're done driving, you would unplug your dash cam, you would plug it into your battery, and then maybe go into the dash cam and switch it from driving mode to parking mode. These ones can do that adjustment automatically. These ones have no ability to tell the dash cam it's in parking mode. But let's say you're not too worried about that. You plug it in, you do what you need to do, and then it's recording in parking mode. Then once you're done, again, you're going to have to unplug it from the battery, plug it back into your car, and plug this guy in so it can resume charging itself. So there's a lot more work every time you get in and out of your car, and well, that gets old really quick. This, you can pretty much just install it, and it works continuously in the background without you having to mess with anything. So in terms of convenience, this is going to be much better. Additionally, you'll find things like these batteries typically have on-off buttons, and they're designed here so that if you have it in your pocket, it doesn't accidentally turn on when you don't need it and maybe drain itself or something if you still have it plugged into your cell phone, and it only turns itself on and recharges it when you need it. And so these ones you have to press a button in addition to everything as far as swapping cables, whereas these ones, they're just designed to work in the background and they start and stop automatically. They do everything you need without you having to mess with anything manually. Now let's say you're like, okay, well that's cool, I get it. These are more convenient, this is going to take more work, but they're less expensive. Okay, I'm cool with a little bit more work to save some money. What would it be like if I was to actually use it? Well, the third difference that I find has to do with the recharge times and also the capacity. Remember how I mentioned at the beginning how it seemed like this one had a larger capacity, 3,000 milliamp hours versus 3,350? Well, that's not entirely accurate, and the reason that's the case is, well, they're operating at different voltages. USB, it's working at 5 volts, whereas your car, it's actually operating closer to 12 volts. Also, if I did some of the math on the numbers, it looks like they're running stuff as far as the cells. They're assuming you're working at 3.6 volts, and so we're looking at 3.6 versus 12.8 volts. Who cares? Why does this matter? Well, if we take a look at the capacity, that's considering current, but it's not considering voltage. We're looking at milliamp hours, but we need to be taking a look at another number on here that they don't usually show online, but you'll see on the batteries, and that number has to do with watt hours. Watt, it's a measurement of power, and it takes into account voltage. Power is current times voltage. If we're looking at only current, but we're not considering the different voltages, we don't have a fair apples to apples comparison. To give you an idea of like how that can be different, this big battery right here, if I take a look at my biggest ones, this one, they advertise as 6,000 milliamp hour capacity. This is 26,800 milliamp hours. And if we look at just that, it looks like this one has more than 4 times the capacity of this battery, which is much, much larger. And that doesn't quite seem right. Yes, it's true that lithium ion is smaller than lithium iron phosphate, but that sounds kind of wild, you know? Now, it turns out that's not the case. If you take a look at the bottoms of the batteries, if we consider the voltage and we factor that in to get to the watt hours, the Blackview B124 has a capacity of 76.8 watt hours. On the other hand, this portable USB battery pack has a capacity of 96.48 watt hours. Now that means that the portable USB battery pack is about 25% larger than this dedicated Dashcam battery pack. Not more than 4 times larger, but only about 25% larger. So yes, it does have more capacity, but not by a huge amount. If we factor that into like, okay, well, how long does it take to maybe fully recharge this battery and maybe recharge this one to the same level? Yes, it's larger, so how long would it take to put as much power in this one as it would into this one? Well, if we take a look at it, this battery is designed to fully recharge in 40 minutes. And that's great because that means you can go on like a drive to work. Maybe it won't completely recharge, but a lot of times, maybe 40 minutes if you're in traffic or something, you can get this guy to completely recharge, and then it's going to give you 20 to 24 hours of recording time. So anyways, 40 minutes to completely recharge this one. This one is designed to be recharged overnight. It can take hours and hours and hours to fully recharge this one, not less than an hour. To give you some example numbers, a battery like this typically would be designed to recharge fully in 16 hours. 40 minutes, 16 hours, big difference. Now to speed things up, luckily there are different types of power inputs that you can do to speed up the recharge process. For example, if you get one that has the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 technology, it can drop the recharge time down to 10 hours. They have some batteries that have not 1 but 2 micro USB input ports. That will drop your recharge time down to 6 hours. The fastest ones are the ones that have the USB Type-C power delivery port. This can recharge the entire battery in about 4.5 3.5 hours. Now, yes, the battery's a little bit larger than this, so to get the equivalent level of power in here as that you would get in here would take a little over 3.5 hours, about 3.6 hours if you run the numbers. So we're looking at 40 minutes versus 3.6 hours. And so this is designed to be something that you could use while you're driving and it recharges the battery, whereas this one, even 3.6 hours, that's not realistic to do while you're driving. That's more of something that you would want to do recharging the battery overnight, right? And that's the reason that for something like this, you can just put it in your car and it works automatically. You don't have to worry about it. It recharges while you drive. There's no buttons to press. Versus something like this, it's more of something that you would recharge overnight. And if I have multiple, maybe I'll take one into the at home to recharge it. I'll take another battery and bring it out to the car, swap batteries, swap cables, turn it on, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more work that's involved here as opposed to something like this, which is designed to be, just you put it in your car, it works automatically, it recharges nice and quick. Plus you have, a lot of the benefits as far as extreme temperatures. You don't have to worry about, the safety issues with this as you would here. Now, to be fair, just because you have something like this in your car, it doesn't mean it's going to automatically explode. I typically keep like 1 or 2 of these, in my glove box just for emergencies in case I need to recharge my cell phone if I'm traveling or something. I even have another style one that I keep in my glove box that has jumper cables hooked up, and I've had to use it more times than I care to admit when I'm doing videos out in the car and I've got my GoPro and radar detector and lights and microphone or whatever all I've got there. If I've got my car turned on, it can drain my car battery. I've had to restart my car and jump it just from that battery, and that's been really helpful. It's also been nice being able to jump other people's cars and not having to put one car next to the other and run jumper cables. Those things are super convenient. I love them. I think they're awesome. I'll put a link in the video description if you want one. But the idea is I've had that in my trunk for couple years and it's been fine. My car hasn't blown up yet, knock on wood, and I've had one of these in my glove box. And so yes, you can get away with it, and yes, they can work, especially up here. I live in Seattle. It doesn't get as hot as it would for some of you guys in like Houston or Phoenix or something, but if you're designing something specifically to be used in the car for a dash cam, you want something that's good for hotter and colder temperatures, that works automatically, that can automatically recharge itself while you're driving and keep powering your dash cam while you're driving or while you're parked. You want something that can recharge really quickly, that you don't have to recharge overnight. It has to be able to recharge itself while you're driving. And that's why these batteries are different from what I found than just a regular plain old USB portable battery pack. I love these. I think they're awesome. I use them for camping, I use them for traveling, I use them for all sorts of things. They're fantastic. But I don't find them to be the best specifically for dash cam specific recording. For that, I prefer using, dash cam batteries, and I find them to be much more beneficial and convenient and safe compared to these ones. And so these are the main differences that I found between just portable USB battery packs and dash cam batteries. So awesome. I think that covers most of the main stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want any of this stuff, I'll put links in the video description to where you can pick them up too. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and found this helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.